Welcome to South Asia. This is J. Reddy, your presenter at South Asia Maps, Intellectual Kshatriya channel, an educational channel that aims to bring the fascinating knowledge of the ancient civilization to our audience in the form of icons, maps, and pictures of the region of South Asia, south of Karakoram Mountains, north of Kanyakumari. This is J. Reddy, your presenter. Excuse me for my allergies. We are continuing our fascinating journey about the Madras Presidency. Madras Presidency survived nearly 3 centuries and etched in every aspect of our life on the people of South India, Dakshin, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Mysore, and so on. 1640 to 1801, a small trading post became very big territorial area, a political entity, a subdivision of British East India Company, later British Raj. Northern part touched Kalinga, that is Chilka Lake, close to Puri and Cuttack and Mahanadi River. Southern part touched Aramboli Pass on the Agastya Malai Hills, that is Sahyadri Mountains, Western Ghats, close to Kanyakumari. Northern part touched Kalinadi River, south of Gomantak, Goa, in northern Karwar. That didn't happen overnight. It took nearly 1.5 centuries. I have covered this topic in 7. Always pay attention to this number so that you know what we are talking about. In this number 8, I give you the overall presentation, what I call here 7 stages in the part 8. We'll go to this, the same slide almost. This is the 7 phases or 7 stages of enlargement of Madras Presidency of British East India Company Bahadur. After completion of this presentation, you will know what are those 7 stages. We'll broadly go through the 26 districts of Madras Presidency, 5 divisions of Madras Presidency, and important political military events, important ideological perspectives also. Before we venture into this, we'll know there were 26 districts and in 5 divisions in Madras Presidency. These 5 divisions are agency division, then Circar division. Agency division, the green part, agency, and Circar. Agency will be somewhere here. And then we have a Deccan division, yellow, or seeded districts, or Rayalaseema districts, Telugu speaking districts. Then we have Coromandel division, predominantly Tamil speaking districts. Here for I also shown the Nellore region, that was Carnatic Nawabi, later moved to the Circar area. Coromandel or Cholamandal division. Then we have the west coast. Remember, Madras Presidency is the only presidency that touched the Ganga Sagar Ocean here, Sindhu Sagar Ocean here, and almost touched Hindu Mahasagar Tri-Junction, Indian Ocean. So it has a west coast division, that is North Kannara and South Kannara. I say here 2 Kannaras. Then of course Malabar, historic Malabar district, north of princely state of Cochin or Kochi and Travancore. So the agency regions, the Circar districts are Ganjam, Gajapati district, Berhampur district, and south of it Vishakhapatnam or Vizag, East Godavari, West Godavari, and Krishna. The Krishna river here, north of which Krishna district, south of which Guntur district. Certain portions, the hilly eastern Ghat region, were administered as a division within Madras Presidency called Agency Division, and Circar Division, Coastal Division, Telugu speaking districts. Then we have Deccan Division, south of Tungabhadra river here, that is Ballari and Kannur, Anantapur, Kadapa and Chittur here. And we have Tamil Division, Coromandel, that is North Arcot, South Arcot, urban city Madras and Chengalpattu, and Delta districts Tanjore and Tiruchirappalli, Madurai, Tirunelveli. West Coast region, north of Cochin Travancore is Malabar, and South Kannada, North Kannada, that is Mangaluru, that is Karwar, and this is Calicut or Kozhikode. Portuguese Catholic imperialist outpost on Sindhu Sagar, Gomantak or Goa. Then we talk about the 7 stages. I have put 2 stages here, 2 stages here, 2 stages here, last stage from 1760 through actually 1801. And next, we'll talk about Vijayanagara Empire, that was the declining Vijayanagara Empire. We discussed Arayavidu dynasty gave small territory as a trading post to the British agent Francis Day, started a small trading post and later built a fort, Kota or Gad, Fort St. George, and they updated it to a presidency status round about 1684, appointed the first president William Guy Ford. This was 1684. That was a small starting, humble starting. Then they intervened in the local battles, enhanced their political military influence in the 3 Carnatic wars. 3 Carnatic wars were fought round about 1748 to 1763. The first Carnatic war showed the French under Francois Dupleix at Pondicherry that small European trade political military force can defeat vast number of Desi local Sipahis that vaulted the ambitions of the French East India Company. Next they started Second Carnatic War, contest for throne in Nizam's territory and throne in Carnatic territory between Nazir Jung, son of Asaf Jahan, and Muzaffar Jung, grandson of Asaf Jahan, for the throne. And in Carnatic, Arcot regions east of Vellore, contenders for the throne were Chanda Sahib and Muhammad Ali Khan Walaja. French East India Company under Francois Dupleix supported Chanda Sahib here, Muzaffar Jung here. Naturally, other contenders fell upon or British supported them, Nazir Jung and Muhammad Ali Khan Walaja. Second war, almost neutral, British established their supremacy in Carnatic, French established supremacy at Aurangabad or Hyderabad state. And at that time, Circars were ceded to the French General Bussy. And within couple of months, Third War broke down, in which Third Carnatic War, in which French were completely eliminated as a military power. They just remain as a traders, a trading post at Pondicherry here, and Karaikal and Yanam in the Godavari Delta, and Mahi in the west coast near Kannur or Calicut. So the British become the masters. After the third Carnatic War, the beneficiary of this war, Muhammad Ali Khan Wallaza, gone under complete control of British East India Company Bahadur at Madras St. George Fort. Even though British has a very small territory, they were the virtual controllers, manipulators, puppeteers of puppet ruler Muhammad Ali Khan Wallaza, Nawab of Carnatic, Nawab of Arcot. He is called de facto ruler, de jure rulers. De facto means the people who really does the work. Like during one decade back, the Indian government was de facto controlled by Signora Sonia Gandhi, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. De jure ruled by Manmohan Singh. So these things are nothing new. A lot of people now crow about it, say something wrong or abnormal. These things historically happened many times, to put the point simple. And that means Muhammad Ali Khan Wallaza, Nawab of Carnatic, Arcot reigned. British ruled this entire land called Carnatic region, south of Krishna River and north of Kanyakumari. This entire region is broadly Carnatic region, not the state of Karnataka today, that is ruled from Bangalore. So the Wallajas reigned as nominals and British ruled from behind. They didn't formally become the rulers, acquired the power. That's what our topic today, how they formally became the masters of such a vast territory within 1.5 century. So that is the Chingleput secession after the Third War in 1763. Madras urban area surrounding taluks like Madurantakam, Chingleput, Perambadur, Kanchipuram, Ponneri, Gummudipundi, Tiruvalluru, Tirutani, all these taluks were given to British. They got Chingleput. That is stage one. In the series of wars, a series of treaties, British the same time acquired northern Circars, means north of Krishna River, south of Chilka Lake, that is in Kalinga or Orissa, near Mahanadi River, Cuttack and Puri, and Guntur by 1765 or so. So we have completed two stages or two phases. Chingleput acquisition in 1763 and North Circars and Guntur acquisition in the second phase. That means the British East India Company Bahadur acquired Guntur district, Krishna district, Godavari districts to Visakhapatnam district, Ganjam district. There are different names used. Krishna district is called Kondapalli, that is the historical city west of Vijayawada, on the mountains of Eastern Ghat. Kondapalli fort is there. And Godavari, West Godavari, is called Eluru region, that is the headquarters of West Godavari or Paschima Godavari today. And Rajmandri, Rajmahendravaram, on the bank of river Godavari, where Godavari forms a mighty delta, joins the Ganga Sagar. So then we have Srikakulam district, Chikakula, Srikakulam, Ganjam area. So these are the Circars and Guntur Circar, northern Circar. Guntur Circar is south of Krishna River and north of Gunlakamba River, essentially north of Carnatic region. Guntur Circars, northern Circars. Later the term was broadly used for the entire Circar districts of today's Simandra, that is also including Nellore, because it was integrated well with the coastal areas when the train was built from Madras to Howrah, Calcutta, eventually around about 1901, passing through Vijayawada and Krishna River and Rajmundry and Godavari River and so on. Mahanadi bridge was built. So we have 2 phases we completed. Then that was 1765, right? And the 4 Mysore was fought with the usurpers of Wadayar dynasty. That is Mysore kingdom that has gone under the control of Hyder Ali, Musalman and his more Islamic zealot Tipu Sultan. And the 3rd war was fought at the time of Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan decisively defeated. A treaty was signed called Treaty of Seringapatam. Seringapatam is a small town, very beautiful town in the island. Kaveri river forms an island. There, in the Bangalore Plateau region, Upper Kaveri Valley in Seringapatam, Tipu ruled from there and treaty was signed on the town, capital of Mysore kingdom by Tipu. The Tipu gave Bara Mahals here, that is essentially Salem district, that is Krishnagiri here. Then we have Dharmapuri, Salem Namakkal, and Dindigal region, that is the Palani hills and north of Vaigai Valley, Dindigal region. So the 3rd treaty, in the 3rd phase, the British obtained Baramahal, Dindigal and Malabar region, historic Malabar, which was previously ruled by Jamorin Maharaja, and who was conquered, whose territories was conquered by Hyder Ali in 1763 after the 3rd Battle of Panipat, where his potential allies at Pune, Marathas couldn't do much as the aggression by Hyder Ali increased. That means that is the Malabar region, historic Malabar district, British Malabar district, that is here Palakkad and Mallapuram, Ponneri, Ponnani, Thanur, Tirur, Manjeri, Nilambur and Calicut, Kozhikode, Baipur and Badagara, Khilandi and Wayanadu, Sultan Battery, those regions, and Kannur. And British already has a small exclave there called Tellicherry, and French has a small exclave called Mahi. That was obtained in the 3rd stage. So out of 7, we covered 3 here. Within 7 years, 4th Mysore War broke down. That is Anglo-Mysore War. That is a very decisive war. Within few months, Tipu was completely defeated, Tipu Sultan, and he died also fighting. And because the kingdom Mysore belonged to the Wadayars, at that time the Wadayar descendant who was a prisoner essentially at Mysore palace by Tipu Sultan and his father was brought up. The Governor General Richard Wellesley and representatives of Maharaja, Raja Mummidi Krishna Devaraya Wadayar, at that time a boy of 5 years old, signed this treaty. That is the 4th stage of expansion. Essentially the treaty was forced on him. Essentially it was a benefit also because they were essentially prisoners. The entire kingdom was ruled by Tipu, and British benefited them and gave back their original kingdom with the diminutive powers, became a princely state now. So the 4th Treaty of Mysore, after the 4th war, British got to Kongu Nadu region, Coimbatore, that is Darapuram, Tirupur, Coimbatore, Nilgiris, and Erode, Bhavani, Gobichetipalayam, Metupalayam, and Satyamangalam, all those regions. And also Kannaras. There were 2 Kannara districts at that time, South Kannara, North Kannara. South Kannara is essentially Mangaluru, Udupi, Beltangadi, those regions. North Kannara is Bhatkal, Karwar, Sonda, and Honover, those regions. So, 4th stage they got Coimbatore, Kannada. If you remember C, you can say Coimbatore and Kannada. North Kannada, Uttar Kannada. That happened in 1999. Within few months, now British East India Company, Bahadur is very powerful and very confident, and they were ruled by aggressive ruler Richard Wellesley, Governor General of East India Company at Fort William, that is Presidency of Fort William and Calcutta, other name for Bengal Presidency, restored a ruler of Tanjore called Serfozi II, whose throne was taken by his brother or half-brother Amar Singh. They have restored him, Tanjore, and he was forced to sign a treaty called Treaty of Tanjore. Essentially, he gave the entire land, retained the fort, and became essentially pensioner of East India Company. That is Serfozi, very great Maharaja in other sense, but he has a little political power. Tanjore Delta districts now added to the British East India Company Bahadur. This happened during the Wellesley's time. Richard Wellesley, brother of Arthur Wellesley, who was his younger brother, himself worked in India as a soldier or a general, fought many wars, and also Second Maratha War. Later went back to Europe, fought a major war against Napoleon Bonaparte, round about 1813 or so. Defeated him on the famous Battle of Waterloo in Belgium, in European plains. That was the major turning point in the global history. Victory at Battle of Waterloo by the British. So Richard Wellesley's time, Tanjore acquired, Mysore acquired, and Nizam already made a treaty called Subsidiary Alliance with the British during Richard Wellesley's time, 1798, and he fell in arrears for the maintenance of the British army at Bolaram, that is outskirts of Hyderabad city at that time, are called Secunderabad. And he, instead of money he doesn't have, he gave the land, territory, ceding of the territory south of Tungabhadra, that is called ceded area, ceded district, ceded land, essentially the Rayalaseema area, that is Ballari district and Kannur district, Anantapur district, Kadapa district and Chittur district. That is the sixth stage, sixth phase of expansion from the Nizam, Richard Wellesley's time. Again, during the Richard Wellesley's time, final major secession came. That's what I have shown here in the red color. Previously, the Madras Chingleput and Tanjore, Northern Circars, Guntur Circars, ceded districts, Baramahal, Coimbatore, Dindigul, Malabar, South Kannada, North Kannada, they were geographically discontiguous parts of Madras Presidency. There is no contiguity. If the British need to move the army, they have to move the army through the territory of Carnatic Nawab. Arcot Nawab. Of course, Arcot Nawab was a puppeteer under their control. That is a different story. But still, he has some political power or the legal holder of the land. And when the Umdatul Umara, then son of Muhammad Ali Khan Wallaza, died, next son of Umdatul Umara refused to sign a treaty with the British East India Company Bahadur to give the land to them. His cousin, that means Umdatul Umara's grandson, and Nizam Ali, Muhammad Ali Khan's other grandson, that means the brother's son, Umdatul Umara's brother was Amirul Umara, his son Azimuddaulah came forward to sign the treaty. British overlooked the claims of son of Umdatul Umara. Instead of that, they accepted the claims of his cousin Azim-ud-Dawla, immediately after coronation, he signed a treaty with East India Company Bahadur called Carnatic Treaty. And he renounced all the rulership of all the Carnatic area, became a pensioner of East India Company. British became from the de facto masters of the Carnatic Arcot Nawabi territories to de jure rulers, because the Nawab, the legal holder, signed the treaty giving him the land. That is the final acquisition, the phase 7. We are talking about 7 phases. Nellore district, north of Pulicat Lake, to Arcot district, that is North Arcot, South Arcot, that is Vellore and Kadalur, and Tanjore, Tiruchirappalli region, and Madurai region, and Tirunelveli regions were given to the British. Madurai and Tirunelveli districts regions south of Vaigai were territories of Nawab of Carnatic, but they were loosely administered, loosely controlled, because polygarchs, local rulers, nominally acknowledged the Nawab at Arcot. British has to wage minor wars in that territory, finally annexed them. Veerapandya, Katta, Brahman and all those leaders were the very prominent who fought against the British, or British fought against them and finally subdued them and hanged them or killed them, annexed the territory. So what did we discuss today? The 7 phases of acquisition of Madras Presidency today. That is, we have started Madras as a 8 red blob here, and Chengalpattu first phase, and Circars in the green color the second phase. You see this Chengalpattu and Circars, Madras, Chengalpattu, Circars, 2 phases. Then we have from the Mysoreans, Vadayari territories, 2 phases. That is the Baramahal, Dindigal, Malabar, that is Treaty of Seringapatam, and this black area, Coimbatore and Kannur in the 4th Mysore War, Treaty of Mysore. So 4 phases. Then the Tanjore Maharaja Serfozi, Maratha Maharaja Serfozi II Bhonsle, great grandson of Shahuji, or the relative of Shivaji, gave this territory. Nizam Ali Khan, son of Asaf Nizam Ali Khan is Asaf Zatu. So in the 5th and 6th phases, we saw the acquisition of these territories. Light blue color here, yellow color here. The 7th final stage and major acquisition is Arcot Nawabi territory or Carnatic Nawabi territory, shown here in white color. South of Gundlakama, Nellore district, North Arcot district, South Arcot district, Tiruchirappalli district, south of Kollidam Kaveri river, and south of Vaigai, Madurai district, Tirunelveli district. So, what did happen? Originally, the native rulers representing local culture and traditions, Hindu nationalists ruled. Who are they? The Nayaks of Tanjore. Nayaks of Tanjore and Marathas of Tanjore, Nayaks of Madurai, Nayaks of Gingi, Arakadu. Here the Mysore Vadayar Maharajas ruled this territory. And when Islamic imperialism won over, that means Immidi Krishna Deva Raya Vadayar, second one, was made puppet by Hyder Ali round about 1760s, who served the entire kingdom. That means the Hindu nationalism was overthrown, the land came under Islamic imperialism. That means the Vadayar territory got into the control of Hyder Ali, a Musalman, later much more militant Muslim Tipu Sultan. Then there was a contest between the various European imperialist powers. One power was located at Pondicherry on the Ponniar River mouth by the French East India Company, other at Kovam and Adayar River regions by British East India Company. And at the same time, the Marathas territory and all the Hindu Arabic territory came under the control of Mughals, and they gave it to Arcot Nawabs and Nizam. So, Islamic imperialism was established in the Carnatic region, overthrowing Hindu nationalism. Carnatic Nawabs and Mysore Sultans represented Islamic imperialism in that war between French imperialism at Pondicherry, Puducherry, British imperialism at Madras Pattanam, Chennapatnam, and Islamic imperialism at Arcot, Ranipet, Vallajapet, and Seringapatam. In the final context, in the final battle, those Islamic imperialists were subdued, eliminated from the field, and the entire land came under British imperialism. British also conquered, eliminated French. Essentially, the British and French represented European imperialism. Acharya Sitaram Goyal has discerned the main characters of Islamic imperialism, European imperialism, Christian imperialism, communist imperialism. In his intellectual treatise, I have made 5 video lessons. You can look at imperialism playlist and get a better understanding. The point here, we have to keep this, our people know, instead of just broadly looking about the French, what happened. Hindu nationalism represented by the Vadayars, the Marathas at Tanjore, Nayaks at Gingi, Nayaks at Madurai, Tiruchirappalli, Nayaks at Tanjore, all replaced by Islamic imperialists. The Mughals, their representatives Nizam, Asafiyas, and Fauzdars of Srikakulam in this region, that is the Circar region, and Nawabs of Carnatic, and the Vadayar territory usurped by Tipu and Hyder Ali, finally subdued by European imperialism, was finally established on the ancient land. That is the growth of Madras Presidency we discussed today in the 7 phases. And the earlier phases, you can look at 0. I started with 0 broader instructions. Then there are 7 numbers, 0 to 7, actually 8. The 8th number, that is the 9th in the series, represents the final 7 phases in the fascinating journey of the growth of Madras Presidency from 1640s as a small trading post given by the Arayavidu kings of Vijayanagara Empire to Francis Day. How it got enlarged, that is the story. Before we go to that, we always look at, see, this is again the please go and subscribe our YouTube channel, South Asia Maps Be Ready. You will have a fascinating intellectual explorations you can have. We have more than 70 presentations already I posted for your learning and intellectual pleasure. And this is, again, we look at the Madras Presidency. What are we looking here? We are looking at our Schwarzberg Atlas. Madras Presidency, I have contracted to show the entire region. See the Madras Presidency here from the Chilka Lake, and we see the Madras Presidency. We go further, and the Madras Presidency, we see the Ganjam district, the Chilka Lake. This is the Bengal Presidency, that is Puri district, Cuttack district, Balsore district. Later it was called Orissa province later, including Sambalpur. You see the Ganjam district here, Vishakhapatnam district, Godavari district. Whenever you see Yanam, that is East Godavari. Yanam was an exclave of French East India Company territories in India. They have 4 territories. Pondicherry was their headquarters, and Yanam on the Ganga Sagar was in the Godavari Delta, and Karaikal, you see Karaikal is in the Kaveri Delta, and Mahi in the Malabar region. So whenever you see Mahi here, that is the Malabar. That is the territory between Calicut district and North Kannur district. You can remember them. Yanam. So Ganjam, Visakhapatnam, Godavari, and Machilipatnam, essentially Krishna districts. Again, the names change, right? There are twin Godavari districts, or Ubaya Godavari Jillalu. Twin Godavari districts. This is the Krishna river here. This is the Guntur Circar. That means the northern parts of the Ganjam and Visakhapatnam were agency division. There are 5 divisions. Sometimes the Jaipur and all those areas historically were also parts of it. And this is the northern Circars. Then we have Deccan division, that is the ceded division, ceded by Nizam Ali Khan Asabza II. South of Tungabhadra river, Ballari district, Kadapa district, Kurnool district, princely state of Banganpalli, here princely state of Sandur also exists. Kadapa districts, that is 3 divisions, ceded district division, Deccan division, that is called coastal division or Circar division, agency division. We have 2 more divisions. In the Coromandel region, we have Tirunelveli Madurai and Tiruchirappalli Tanjore and Coimbatore and Salem, and 2 Arcots, of course. That is Tamil speaking division. You see the Karaikal enclave in the Tanjore Delta, Pondicherry in the South Arcot Ponier region. This is the Pudukottai princely state ruled by Maravars. In the Maravar land, surrounding Tanjore, Tiruchirappalli and enlarged Madurai districts. And of course we have the western division, west coast division, Malabar district, that is Palakkad, Malappuram, Ponnani, Nilambur and Manjeri. Then we have Calicut, Kozhikode, Badagara, Kilandi, Kannur. Then we have 2 Kannada districts. Originally North Kannada for a couple of decades were part of Madras Presidency. Remember, in 1799, Kannaras were given in the 4th acquisition. After 60 years or so, that means after first Sipai mutiny broke down in 57, you can remember that 4 years later, North Kannada was bifurcated from Madras Presidency, given back to Bombay Presidency. That is the west coast, Malabar, South Kannada, North Kannada. Catholic outpost, Catholic imperialism, Portuguese imperialist ruled here Goa. Princely state of Mysore, Vadayar, Mummidi Krishna Raja Vadayar ruled from 1799 to 1862, almost 60 years. At that time is a 4th district, Nagara district, that is Shimogga district or Hosha Nagar district. Then we have Chitradurga district, Bangalore district, the Bangalore, the Mandya, Kolar, all those regions. Ashtagram district, that is Mysore, Mandya and Hassan, and today's Kaduru, that is Chikmagaluru district. And of course we have Chikmagaluru here, historic Ashtagram district, so on. Princely state of Coorg. So you can see the those areas, and I have shown you for clarity in Schwarzberg Atlas, which we will look at many times. The bigger Madras Presidency. What did we look at today? We looked at today in the part 8, the 7 phases of enhancement or growth of Madras Presidency from a small trading post on the Coromandel coast or Cholamandalam coast near Adayar and Kuvam rivers. 2. Acquisition of Chinleput, acquisition of Circars, acquisition of Baramahals and Malabar, acquisition of Coimbatore, Kannur, secession of Tanjore, secession of Rayalaseema State district. Finally, secession of or acquisition of Carnatic Nawabi territories. This is your presenter J. Reddy at South Asia Maps. Please visit our YouTube channel and explore lot of interesting information in beautiful maps. I took a lot of time for making this presentation, redrawing the maps instead of just throwing the Schwarzberg Atlas. I didn't do it. I want my audience to understand, appreciate, enjoy, learn, further transfer this knowledge to the interesting audience as a part of continuation of the knowledge transfer. Take time, look at the videos, stop them, and this is an intellectual ananda, treasure trove for you. It is up to you to spend the time and understand your knowledge from your articulate presenter. As usual, bringing South Asian knowledge of our ancient motherland, Bharat, south of Karakoram, north of sacred city of Kanyakumari, sitting on Hindu Mahasagar Ocean. Thank you very much. See you later.